I was hoping that I will never come to a situation where I have to choose one over another. But right now, I'm really heartbroken. I really don't know what to do.
In the aftermath of their big argument, we join a heartbroken Sumit as he questions whether his marriage to Jenny is even worth it.
So I feel like that is it worth it to just make yourself happy over your family happiness?
Oh yes, the age-old question, Sumit's family's happiness. Now, if you missed all of the drama from the last episode where Sumit revealed to his parents that he secretly married Jenny, then I'll include a link to my video down in the description below. But suffice to say, his parents disowning him, only to then come in and argue with his wife, was all very traumatic for Sumit.
Last night was a disaster. My mother said that I'm not her son anymore. After that, Jenny and I had a big fight. Jenny felt I picked my family over her.
So in this episode, we join Jenny and Sumit in the park as they talk through the events of the night before. Jenny begins by explaining her perspective and the fact that because Sumit and his mum were talking in Hindi, she didn't understand what was being said.
And I didn't know what was going on. I only knew what I thought was going on. I was thinking I lost him. He went to his mom, and that's why I yelled at you and lashed out at you the way that I did.
Now, regardless of the fact that she didn't understand what was being said, I think it speaks volumes about the strength of their relationship that when her husband walked out to console his crying mother, Jenny's mind immediately goes to a dark place and assumes her husband has left her. And it doesn't take a genius to work out that the root cause of that problem is that Jenny still can't fully comprehend and understand what's driving Sumit's devotion and loyalty to his parents.
It's really disappointing to see that Sumit hasn't really moved on from getting his parents' approval. It's been over 10 years. Come on, let's be done with it, Sumit.
Jenny was hoping that by getting married, Sumit might have finally broken free of his parents' grasp. And for a while there, while it did appear like Sumit had stopped caring what his parents thought, unfortunately for Jenny, like a broken record, he's gone back to old ways.
My first duty was just to comfort my parents. In Indian culture, families' love and support is everything. And without their love and support, it's very difficult to make a happy life.
Now, that second point about being very difficult to have a happy life without his family's support, that doesn't seem to align with everything they've told us so far this season. In fact, in Sumit's own words,
And we've been married for 2 months.
Best 2 months.
Yay.
something doesn't add up. He's had the best 2 months, he's happy, but one meeting with his family and he's back to convincing himself that he can't be happy. With this now playing in his head, he starts to question his wife and his marriage.
As a wife, I was expecting more from you. I wanted Jenny to comfort me. What are you doing in this relationship if you don't even just support your partner?
Isn't it ironic how both Sumit and Jenny both feel unsupported? But here's a kicker. Listen to what Sumit says here.
And I'm losing my family just for you, and I thought you were here to support me.
Interesting choice of words, isn't it? He's losing his family just for her. That word just kind of feels like he's downplaying her importance. Is it worth going against my family just for Jenny? I think what really hurt Sumit was Jenny's threat in the heat of the moment that she wanted to end their relationship.
Away from me! Get away from me!
Get away
Forever!
from me?
Forever! Understand?
That really hurt Sumit. Instead of seeing it for what it was, words spoken in anger in the heat of the moment, he interpreted it very literally as Jenny giving up on the relationship.
If you don't understand the situation and you are ready to give up, then you should not be in a relationship.
Now, having reflected on everything, Jenny does realise that she went too far. So she begins to apologise, but she wants her husband to acknowledge her feelings too.
I'm the one that's in this country by myself. He's all I have. He needs to remember that. We are now husband and wife, and he needs to behave like my husband. Yelling at you was wrong, and I'm sorry that I yelled at you, but you have to realize that I just went through a big thing too.
Now, judging by Sumit's facial expressions and also his apology, I'm not too sure he fully understands what Jenny's asking for. He apologises for physically walking out of the room, but Jenny's asking for emotional support.
I needed you too at the same time.
I'm sorry I left you alone.
Either way, with both of them now apologising, they take the opportunity to hug it out, and Jenny acknowledges that when she loses her temper, as she often does, she has a habit of saying things she doesn't really mean.
I'm sorry I yelled at you.
Yeah, I'm sorry I yelled
I
at you
have
too.
to stop saying these things that I say to you when I'm mad.
So where does this leave their relationship now? Well, while Sumit doesn't regret the marriage,
As I said, I'm not regretting marrying.
he is questioning whether he should put his personal happiness before his family's happiness.
So I feel like that is it worth it to just make yourself happy over your family happiness?
That should be a huge cause for concern for Jenny. The man she married still isn't sure if he's made the right decision.
If you're going to keep being worried about your parents and getting their acceptance, and you never get their acceptance, then where does that leave me?
Do you really want to know the answer to that question, Jenny? Because I can give it to you, but I suspect, having been in this position for nearly a decade, you know all too well yourself.